please ask my ancestors or my guides, like, what am I supposed to be doing in this lifetime? And the one thing I always see this spirit saying is, you're here to enjoy yourself. That's always number one. I've never done such a reading for someone, and that has never come up. But even when I'm teaching people to connect with their ancestors, the first thing is always, how does your intuition come through, right? Because if we know that, we can expand that channel. We can build on it and make that stronger. Another practice I like is telling people to journal. Like, if you have an issue, just say, I call upon my ancestors who are guiding me. This is what I'm dealing with right now, yada, yada, yada. Just write everything. And you might actually find yourself coming up with solutions for the challenge that you're dealing with. That's your ancestors coming through for you.
Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to the Art of Being podcast, a sacred space where we dive into spirituality, healing, manifestation, and all the magic of becoming. We explore the depth of the human experience, the pain, the triggers, the healing, the expansion, the joy, and what it means to move through life with awareness and intention. I am Bamzi, a mindset and manifestation coach. I'm so glad that you're here. Take a deep breath, settle in, and let's journey together. Welcome back to the Art of Being, beautiful soul. Today I'm so excited to have this guest. I've never spoken to anyone like this or interviewed someone like this who does ancestral work, right? And the reason I'm so excited is because I feel like in my own spiritual awakening journey, that is maybe an area of mine that I've felt like I haven't strengthened. And sometimes I feel like, am I connected to my ancestors? And whenever I've had conversations with people, they remind me like, okay, like, you know, when you eat foods that you grew up eating, foods that are from your, you know, tribe, from your region, from your culture, that's like one way of connecting to ancestors. But whenever I think of it as like, you know, when I'm meditating and I'm connecting to my spirit guides, I never feel like I have that relationship with my ancestors. And so I'm excited to talk to somebody who does work on that level and hear what they have to say in their own journey. Welcome to the Art of Being, Nyambura. I'm so excited to have you here. Yeah.
I am very excited to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me. To be honest, I was scared.
Yeah.
When I saw your message, I was so unsure. I was like, damn, do I want to do this? Because like I told you, this is my first time being interviewed. And I will say my ancestors are very particular. So I was like, am I sure? Am I unsure? And when they were like, what are you afraid of? I was like, true, what am I really afraid of? So thank you so much for having me. I love your work. And I love that you've started doing this. Okay, you're continuing to do this. Yes.
I love your work as well. Like as I was telling you, I've been seeing you online. I think 2020, either towards the end of 2022 or 2023 is when like I first came across you. And so it's been 3 years and of course like I only started this podcast last year, but of course like you've been, you know, I've followed you on Instagram and X, I think. So I've seen like some of the work that you do and we have mutual friends. And so I think it's time. Yeah. And we were supposed to film this at the end of March, but then something happened and then I had to take a break. But I'm so glad that it's happening today.
Yeah. I always say divine timing and alignment.
Yeah,
always.
right? Yeah. Okay, so how are you feeling now?
Excited.
Yeah.
I feel excited. Happy to be here. Grateful for the opportunity to be here as well. Yeah. And like I said, I'm very grateful that you are creating such a space, or you've been creating such a space where people can really come and talk about spirituality, because like I said, I feel like this is something that's not really present in Kenya right now. So,
Yeah. It's slowly growing.
Yes.
You know, like I've seen a lot of, you know, younger people. I'm a millennial. I'm sure you're a Gen Z. So when I say younger people, I'm referring to...
I figured. Don't worry.
You're like, you look like a millennial.
No, when you said younger people, I was like, oh, okay.
Younger? I don't mean to sound like that 50-year-old woman who's like, you young people.
No, I get you completely.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah, I've started to see, I feel like there are a lot of like Gen Z that are like awakening. I feel like a lot of people that are awakening are like Gen Zs. Do you agree?
I do
Yeah.
agree. I do agree. I feel like a lot of people my age and younger are really is it like going through a collective spiritual awakening, something like that? And it's information that they're really looking for. So I'm always having people text me and tell me, why haven't you posted on TikTok recently? Why haven't you posted? I'm like, damn. Hey.
Yeah.
Sometimes, okay, I don't want to go into a whole other
Whatever.
whatever.
No, this is an open space. Absolutely.
I feel like when you start posting yourself on social media, it can really get hectic in your head because you're like, is this really helping anyone? Am I sharing too much of myself? Is this good enough? Is this what people want to see? You know, and sometimes life just lives. Maybe you're going through a difficult time. People always telling me, no, just post about that as well. We'd like to see how you deal with that. And I'm like, I'm crying every day. How else do you want me to deal with that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my
You know,
gosh. Yeah.
but something my ancestors always say is post for yourself first. If this is something you wish you could have seen maybe when you were younger or at a specific time of your life or even now that is helping you, that matters more than anything else. It's not about being viral or having 1,000 likes or 1,000,000 followers, of which no shade to people who have that. I don't know how they do it. I think I'd be so stressed out. But as Ehime Ora says, she's a really cool traditional African spiritualist that I like. And there's this screen grab where she says, being perceived is scary, but being perceived is what will lead us to our blessings. So if you are looking for this spiritual information, don't think that there's a day you'll be the most knowledgeable person because everyone's path is so different. So share what you have.
Absolutely.
Yeah, share what you have. And don't be afraid to learn. Don't be afraid to be wrong.
Absolutely.
You won't die because you're wrong. You won't die because you're still learning.
Yeah.
But that person who is maybe starting out might actually need the knowledge that you have at that time.
I completely agree. I feel like we all have different things we offer. Like the way that somebody will resonate with my message, it's not the same way that you will resonate. Like I could speak to somebody and they're like, oh my God, you spoke to my soul. And then another person will, like it passes them, right? And I feel like I completely agree with what you're saying. That's why it's so important to still share like what your wisdom and what you have to offer, because you have no idea what's going to come across that message.
And I always feel like even if I already know what you're sharing, I won't be there telling you, you already najua, you know. I will reshare it because I'll be like, oh, okay, this person makes sense to me. Even if this is a lesson I've already learned, let me share it. Maybe it'll help someone else, you know.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
If you're looking for all these spiritual things, I will always say go with what resonates with you. I don't know much about conspiracy theories, but I feel like that's where everyone starts. I started there as well. You know, the Mandela effect, whatever, those things. I don't look into that anymore. But no shade to people who do, obviously. But make sure what you're consuming is actually aligned with you. Not because someone has so many likes or so many followers. Ask yourself, is this really resonating with me? Is this really for me?
Right.
And especially for my women, we need to be in the spiritual spaces.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that resonance, I feel like sometimes you don't even have to ask. I feel like it's something that you feel.
Exactly.
Right? It's like a body experience.
Feeling. Yeah. I feel like sometimes people are like, how do you know if something has resonated with you? And I'm like, you'll know when you know. Because if it hasn't, you'll ask yourself, is this resonating with me?
Yeah.
But if it has, you'll be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not, when it resonates, it's not because somebody's telling you something new, but it's because it's kind of like they're unlocking it from you.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's like, that's why it resonates.
Yeah.
It's like a key and lock.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like somebody coming in with the key and then opening that lock.
Yeah. it feels like such a eureka.
Yeah.
Like oh, wow. I feel like even sometimes you feel it in your chest. You're like, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like, this actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And you might not be able to explain it at the time. You might not even know why it makes sense, but you'll just know, this is for me. This has resonated with me.
100%.
Yeah.
Going back to, because I want to get into your journey, but first of all, I just wanted to go back to what we were talking about, how like younger people are awakening in your work with ancestors and what you've been doing. Do you know why that is? Is there like, and not to put you on the spot, and it's okay, but do you know why that is? Because it's like, it's happening like in Kenya, like over the last few years, and it's impressive to see.
I feel like let me say, as per what my ancestors have taught me, and I will reference that a lot. No one come for me, please.
And they can come. You're protected. You're
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
But I will say, as per what my ancestors have told me about current times, especially from now the lockdown, all of us who are here now, we were meant to be here. We all chose to be here at this time. Number one, that's an undisputed fact, 100%. And we're seeing things change on such a global scale. It feels like everything is so different. We grew up being told, go to school, go to university, get a job, retire, get children, start a family, retire, and then
die.
Do whatever you want to do. But now it's like, but it's true though. It felt like there were these steps that you always have to follow. And I remember even for me as a child, we would always be told, if you do poorly in school, you won't go anywhere. And right now, life is so different because, there are people who don't have degrees and they're still living comfortable lives. There are people who are not looking to get married. There are people who are not looking to get children. That doesn't mean they're living awful lives. There are people who do not resonate with corporate work. They're still living.
Yeah.
So everything is really changing. And that's because the systems had to change. The way things were going, it was unsustainable. But my ancestors say that even through this period of change and transformation, we have to hold on to, is it who we are, who we inherently are?
Yes.
And right now, I feel like we see people saying influencer culture, celebrity culture is about to fall. Those things are all about us leaning in towards our authenticity. And I feel like that's the biggest change that we are actually witnessing. Like, we're all like, we can't live under the systems. Look at Mandamano. People really getting annoyed by leaders. We've never seen that before. Okay, I've never seen that
on
before,
that level.
At that level.
Yeah.
You'd see people being against the government, but then they're put in such a malicious way. You're like, this person must not be in the right mind or whatever. So all of us are really being encouraged to lean into our authenticity, number one, like I said. And now that creates a sort of dissonance between the people who have upheld the systems and those of us who want something different.
Absolutely.
So these spiritual awakenings are just to put us into that state of authenticity as well. Because you now have to be honest with yourself. You have to now face yourself.
Yes.
Because in the past, it would be, you've gone to school, ukufanya homework, umechapo, umerudi home. But now it's like, beating kids is not really appropriate. Why are we beating children? That's not the right thing to do. And at the same time, you don't know what this kid is dealing with at home that they are carrying forward to school. But anyway.
Yeah.
So we are all being called to effect change in whichever way we can. And that starts with ourselves.
Yes.
If you are able to face yourself, face your less than positive
demons.
Traits.
Just call them as that. Face your demons,
Face your demons, hold yourself accountable. There's only so many times you can say, it was my parents, it was my grandparents, You have to deal with those things because you chose that lineage.
Yes.
Okay, not in every issue, in my opinion. I can't overlook certain issues, but we have to accept that we are all here for a reason. And even if that reason does not feel so obvious right now, I always tell people, when you connect with yourself, when you come back to your body, when you listen to yourself, that's when things get clear.
Yes.
So instead of looking outside of yourself and wishing, oh my God, I wish I had Bumsy's life, I wish I had Bumsy's car, I wish I had this, I wish. Instead, just be like, this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm dealing with, and this is who I am right now. And maybe I want to get the same car as Bumsy in the future. I don't know when, but I'm going to start with where I'm at.
Yes.
So I feel like people getting into these places where they are awakening is because we're all seeing how a lot of these things are bullshit. A lot of them. And I always say, for my women and my queers, I read for you so hard.
Yeah.
But you need to know your own voice. You need to stand for something. Don't just listen to people to listen to people. Don't just watch things to watch things. But instead, ask yourself, what do you actually want? What is the future that you want?
Yeah.
Because if your future is about being aligned with yourself and living a life that actually brings you joy and satisfaction, that spiritual awakening will hit you, for sure. Your ancestors will not let you suffer.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just things needing to change, but also especially at an internal level before we even see the external change.
Yeah, because I feel that's so important to say that all you can do is change yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then, when if each one of us took that responsibility to work on our internal, change our internal, focus on that, then the external is going to reflect, our states of being.
Yeah.
And I wish more people knew that.
Yeah, and I feel like going through a spiritual awakening, whether it really be, like traditional spirituality or these other religions that I won't speak much on, just I'm not well versed, but I will say it teaches you so much compassion, so much care and kindness, that there are things you will not really do. Because sometimes you walk around Nairobi, you see homeless people in the wet grass, ama wananyeshewa, and you're really like, I wish I could do more for them.
Yeah.
Or we've been seeing people fundraising for medical stuff, and you're like, I wish I was Jeff Bezos. I would have given you all this money. Just go for your treatments. Like, you don't have to suffer.
Yeah.
And I feel like because of that, we'll be able to create really strong and beautiful communities where we're able to really care and show up for each other and really show each other a lot more compassion than we do now. I believe like things can be really different if we just take care of each other.
Yeah, thank you so much for that perspective, because I completely agree that we have to take our individual responsibility for like what we are going through, what we are, and face ourselves, right? And face our demons. And that is the only way that we can change the systems and whatever is happening externally.
Oh, and let me interrupt you, sorry. Before we started, you were talking about how you feel like your audience is growing. And I have to remind you of something my ancestors also tell me as well. Even if 5 people watch your stuff, that's still amazing.
Yeah.
Like 5 people are still a number of people.
Yeah. Imagine 5 people sitting over there and then listening to what you had. Yeah.
Exactly.
Even one person, right?
Yeah. It still matters. So do it for yourself before you do it for.
Yes, and that has been my, intention like since I started this. And because it's only human sometimes where you're like, oh my God, checking the numbers. In fact, when I started this, I had to tell myself like that is not the goal. Like, and I had to really come back to that over and over and be like, that's not the goal, right? The goal is like, if this touches one person, that's if we can help one person, can you imagine helping one person along their journey?
And that ripple effect, because that one person will go and be like, I saw this on this podcast. I think we should talk about it, and sharing it.
Yeah.
So, you're
absolutely
doing an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I actually just want to go back to your own journey in Nyambura, because And, I love that we just started talking about all of this naturally, because I like to allow conversations to go the way they're going.
Yeah.
But for my audience to understand who Nyambura K is, because I want to differentiate you, because I've had, I've had Nyamburas on the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm always having a Nyambura on the
Yes.
Yeah. So for my audience to understand who Nyambura is and your journey as well. When I introduced you, I said that you do ancestral work, but of course you do other things as well. So I want to go back to what is your healing and awakening journey, and how did you even know that this is what you were called to do, and this is why, like, your purpose, in this lifetime?
Okay. Let me start from the very beginning as per how I understand it at this time.
Yeah.
So when I was in uni, I was in the University of Nairobi. And I remember I got to third year and I was really stressed because I was doing an engineering course and that's 5 years.
Wow.
So I was telling myself, oh my God, I'm almost in fifth year. My grades are not looking how I want them to look and I want them to be better. So I used to be really stressed. I started getting panic attacks. I used to get so anxious and all of that. Shout out to my friend Velma because she was the person who helped me through my first panic attack. I didn't even know what it was at that time. So that's when I learned about meditation. So you can meditate to deal with anxiety and deal with panic attacks and just go through life without all of that. So I started meditating. I started doing yoga in the mornings. And it was really nice and really helpful. I'd wake up at 4:30, do yoga, meditate, and then go to school because classes start at 8. So now after that, lockdown happened. And I remember that was now March 2020. So now I'm at home the whole day. You can't go anywhere. You can't do anything other than watch TV, doom scroll, watch TV, doom scroll. You just have to be in the house. And it was also stressing me out because I was feeling claustrophobic. I felt like I need to be outside. I need to go somewhere. I mean, you could walk around in the estate, but really you're just there. You're just stuck. And then you're seeing all these people dying and all these people grieving and there's no cure. And you're like, if I go outside, I'm going to die. And, all of that. And I repeat to those souls, by the way, those who are resting because of COVID. But so one day in the midst of all of that, I had a very weird dream where I was at a friend's house. I'm not friends with this person anymore, but yeah, I was at a friend's place and they had this dog, Chihuahua, I think, this white fluffy dogs, yeah. And I remember in the dream, the dog kept trying to touch me. It was touching me constantly, kind of rubbing on me. So I immediately woke up and it was 2-3 a.m. and I could still feel the dog touching me.
Physical, yeah.
So I was like, what's really going on here? I had never heard about this before. I had never experienced this before. So I'm freaking out. And that time, my mom had traveled to Egypt. So it was just me, my dad, and my brother at home. So I was freaking out, but then in the midst of freaking out, something just told me, go on Google, search how to protect yourself meditation. So I immediately did that. I did the meditation as best as I could. I went back to sleep, right? I woke up, I'm still feeling the sensation. I was like, okay, fine. I don't know what this is about. But I remember journaling about it because I grew up journaling. My mom got me into the habit when I went to boarding. So I journaled about it, called it a day. But then now ikafika, it got to nighttime. I realized I was afraid to sleep. So what I will do, I'd go to my brother's room, we'd watch something on Netflix, and then when I fell asleep, I'd now go to my room and just sleep.
Yeah.
Immediately. So that happened for a couple of days. And during that time, I remember after that experience, actually I woke up now after doing the protection. And then I was like, how did I even know how to do that? Where is this coming from? I've never thought about this before.
Was it a guided or?
at that time it wasn't guided. It was just like written. They were like, so this is what you do, take some deep breaths and then visualize a bubble of white light around you, and then you'll be okay. You're protected. Of course, now that I'm more experienced, that is just like a beginner
it's a basic
protection thing. Which is still okay. It still works. So I woke up, I'm like, how do I even know how to do this? This is crazy. What the hell is this? But I remember for the next like 2 days, I was not hungry. I wasn't eating. I would just wake up, drink water, go and bask in the sun, scroll on Twitter. And crazy enough, when I had that experience, I think that triggered my now intense spiritual awakening. Because I would go on Twitter and I would find people like Mariam Hasna. I don't know if you've ever come across her. They'd be reposting tweets that would be really about my own life. So I'm like, hey, what's really going on? I look at my timeline. It's the same thing. Like, they're talking about my life and things that I've been thinking about. So I'd be like, hey, this is so crazy. I was even telling my friend, like, there was a day I was just telling myself, like, hey, wacha dada fike home. Maybe I need to go to like Chiromo or something, because this is insane. Like, because I'm not eating, I'm just drinking water, but I'm so energetic. I'm so okay. I'm seeing these spiritual things that are making sense to me. I'm feeling like I'm becoming mentally unwell. Like, am I getting psychotic? Like, do I need to talk to someone? Like, so many things are happening. And at that time, I didn't really know much about spirituality, which I guess was also part of the problem. This was not something I had been exposed to. So I was really freaking out a bit. But then I talked to my brother. He was like, wetulia, like, uko sawa. Mi sioni kama you're in a crisis. So I remember talking to someone else, and they were like, okay, if you're struggling to sleep, I'll make you a playlist, yada, yada, yada. That really helped. I don't talk to that person anymore. But that really helped. And it helped me sleep for that time. So now that was like March, huge bulk of that COVID period, because remember, I was still in uni, so I still had to learn, I still had classes. Exams, online classes, all of that. So after that, now I think we got into 2021. By the time we were getting into 2021, I was very secure in my meditation, my yoga, my journaling. I was really getting into spirituality. So I would see people do card readings on like TikTok, Twitter, all of that. And I'd be so interested. I'd be like, oh, this is fun. This is cool. So at that time, what happened? I'm trying to remember. Sorry. Before I even got into reading cards, I started learning about ancestral stuff. I saw people talking about it and I was like, this makes sense to me, actually. I want to know about these ancestors, these spirit guides. So I would... Oh, yeah, that's when I did my attachment as well, my industrial attachment, 2021. So I would light a candle, a white candle with a glass of water. And it was just like on top of my shelf because I didn't have like a whole altar space. And I would have like a white cloth up or at the bottom. And I'd just be like, I don't know who I'm talking to, but to my ancestors, if you hear me, thanks so much for being here. Just chit-chatting, saying a lot of stuff. I can't remember exactly what I was saying, but I remember that beginning because I'd always be like, I don't know who I'm talking to, but it's fine. At that time, my Guka had died in like 2018, and the relationship was not really the best. So I was like, I don't think it's Guka who I need to be talking to. But if there's someone else out there, like really looking out for me, like, thanks so much. Like, please continue doing that. So I got more into spirituality, more into sharing that part of myself as well. And people started knowing me through that, like my classmates and all of that. So then I remember I bought playing cards, these normal cards that people used to play games like poker. And I remember I would try to like read for myself and pick up the meanings from like Pinterest and Chrome and whatever. But I remember I was like, I feel like I'm lying to myself. But anyway, maybe it'll make sense later on. And I remember one day we went to chill at a friend's place. And I went back to my place and I couldn't find the cards. Now later on is when my ancestors told me you were just doing a lot of bullshit, honestly. So we just had to take that away from you, because whatever you were doing, whatever the meanings you were assigning to those cards was insane stuff that we've never had before. It was not for you. And the crazy thing is, I had put those cards in my bag. I had not removed them at any point. So I remember I'm looking for the cards. I'm like, where are these cards? Like, what the hell? But then I was like, okay, cool. So later on, I tried it again, I think end of 2021 or early 2022. And I'd read for myself at the beginning of the week, and I'd be like, yo, wait, this makes so much sense.
You bought new cards? Or?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're like 30 bob. So I just got others when I felt called to again. Yeah. So I'd be like, wow, this actually makes so much sense. I'm going to keep this in mind for my week. And I remember, especially during exam week, I'd really pull cards for myself just to see if there are any blind spots, you know, anything I need to know. And then I started doing it for my friends. Once again, shout out Belma Inyaki. And I'd be like, wait, Ina makes so much sense, you know.
Can I interrupt? Like, where are you getting the interpretation? Because you're just pulling actual cards, and you're looking at a card, and it's not like it has the message. Like,
yeah,
how are you getting the message? Like,
I had to go back and study. So I was basically teaching myself. That's the crazy thing about, I think, intuition, because I found like a whole kind of like guidebook. And I will just, so I wrote down everything from the A of Hearts to the A of Spades, A of Diamonds, A of Pentacles, all of them. I wrote them down somewhere. So when I was reading for myself at first, I would reference, but then I'd be like, oh, okay, for example, the A of Pentacles, Diamonds, Pentacles is tarot, Diamonds. It's like new financial gain, basically. So I'd be like, okay. Then I'd see it kind of like happen in my own life in a specific way. Then I would now have like my own interpretation for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So by the time I was doing it for my friends, I feel like I was more attuned, in tune. And the thing about reading cards as well is that every deck has its own energy. And there's a certain way you have to interact with different decks based on the relationship that you have with the cards themselves. Yeah. So when I would read for my friends, they'd be like, oh, okay, this is making so much sense. And you know, when you're in uni, your problems are very... they seem so big, but
money,
that's all. It's just relationships, love. Am I gonna pass? Am I gonna get good grades? Will I have enough money? Should I go into this career that I'm currently studying? You know, just those types of things that seem so big at that time. But when you get out of that space, you go to like, it was never that serious. So then my friends were like, no, you know what, Nyams, you need to start doing this for other people, like you're sleeping on yourself.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I really don't think so. Like, I'm really not ready to put myself out there like that. And, you know, at the same time, I feel like sometimes there's this negative connotation associated with spirituality because it's very demonized.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't want people to think I'm crazy.
Or you're a witch.
Exactly.
Crazy or a witch. It's either those.
You know, you could post something on Twitter and then mtu amekwambia hapo, we nika uende madhari. And you're like, bro, like, where is this really coming from? Yeah. But it took some convincing. It took some time. Yeah. So I did it. And I remember the first time I told people, like, I read cards and I can do this for you for 100 bob. I can hear my ancestors like, what in the undercharging?
But you have to begin somewhere, right? And I think like even beginning with that little builds your confidence, I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know, the thing is, I was overworking myself and getting underpaid.
Okay, yeah.
Because I tell someone, it's just 100 bob, and then I'm pulling like 5 cards for them.
Yeah.
So I remember there was a time I had to do some readings for people, and I was leaving to go meet my friend. And I remember the whole time I was feeling so floaty. I was feeling like I'm in another dimension. I was in the matatu, I was looking around, I'm like, wow, this is like new. Like I've never felt like this before. Then I realized I wasn't grounding myself appropriately. then I realized the energy exchange was also
Yes.
poor.
Yeah.
So I also had to work on that as well. But that has basically been my journey. Right now, I feel very secure in who I am, very secure in my spirituality. I really enjoy this work. And in terms of knowing my purpose, damn, do I really?
I mean, and purpose is not one thing, right? Like
Definitely.
I've come to understand purpose very differently, because I think we were conditioned to think that what you do is your purpose,
Yeah.
and you know, I've come to understand that purpose is just who you are, right? And what you do, whatever you're doing, like even if you're at the office, you're probably serving your purpose, like, you know, or like even by you being virtual, you being then your energy. I feel like your energy, your essence, that is your purpose, right?
Yeah.
It's not what you do. You
Yeah.
could be a mother at home, you're not doing anything, you're there for your child, or like you're helping a homeless person. That's purpose right there.
That's true.
Yeah.
I feel like I also see this when people are like, oh, please ask my ancestors or my guides, like, what am I supposed to be doing in this lifetime? And the one thing I always see this spirit saying is, you're here to enjoy yourself. That's always number one. I've never done such a reading for someone, and that has never come up. Like, you'll always be told, first of all, enjoy yourself, enjoy this experience. There's a reason you wanted to be here at this time. So make the most out of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be that person who is at the end of their life and they're looking back and they're like, I should have done this. I should have talked more. I should have, done this and that.
Yeah.
You want to be, I did the best with what I had and I enjoyed myself.
Yes. Yeah.
So I feel like when it came to spiritual work, even being pushed into offering this work for others, it was such a thing for me. Because like I said, sometimes I really struggle with being visible and being perceived.
A lot of us do.
Yeah. But doing this work for other people, like, yes, I do love engineering. I love that. I still study. I hope to work in that field a lot more despite the challenges. But I find like spiritual work is for me and for community. And this is one way I feel like I am in control of what I am giving back to the community. So when people get a reading from me, I really try my best to show up. And if it's something I feel like I can't do or I don't have the capacity to do, and I can recommend someone else, I really do my best to share these opportunities with other people. But it brings me a lot of joy and satisfaction to meet people out there who are like, oh my God, thank you so much for that reading you did for me like 5 years ago. It really still helps until now. I really love that. And even to see myself grow in this work and in this space has been very, very encouraging. I feel like something that us spiritual workers don't really talk about is how before you even share yourself with other people, there's so much you have to deal with yourself.
Oh my God, yes.
And I know people always like, let me give you, let me tell you.
Yeah. The work that's involved behind the scenes, oh my God.
If I could go back in time, I just tell myself, like, just be ready, be prepared. Like, you're going to do this, yes, but you're going to face so much and you'll have to deal with so much. But you'll be okay. You'll deal with it.
Yes. Because it's like you have to become that version. Like you have, in order for you to embody the highest version of that person who's putting themselves out there and sharing, you have to become that person. Yeah. And the journey of becoming that person is very painful, a very painful process. Yeah. Like people don't realize, like, for example, when I decided to put myself out there, like I share a lot on TikTok more than Instagram for some reason. I feel like TikTok rewards spiritual content.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if you ever felt like, when I say rewards, I mean like they promote a lot. Like it's pushed out. It's pushed out more than it is on Instagram.
Yeah.
But even like when I decided I started putting myself out there, part of the work that was involved was like, if you put it yourself out there, you're human. Sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't get any, like, whatever applause that I was expecting. So you have to face the part of you that wants applaud, that's seeking applaud, and realize, like, where is that coming from? Yeah. When, like, the intention is for you to share, even with one person, right? Like you intended to do that, but then a part of you comes and it's like, oh, we didn't get what, you know. And so a lot of that work of like going within and questioning yourself and like, where's this coming from and whatever. Like, so it involves a lot of like the whole of last year involved a lot of me sitting with myself and the parts of me that were coming up as I'm sharing,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
that's something that people don't see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you've said a lot. And as you were talking, I was like, oh my God, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. I want to make sure that I keep track of like, you know,
Yeah.
the things that I want to ask you. Like what I find very interesting is that you, and you talked about intuition, is like sometimes your intuition just leads you somewhere. And when I say that, I mean like, I've never been drawn to like, start doing card work or like doing ancestral work, and my own journey has been completely different.
Yeah.
Right? But you naturally like went there, and I don't know, like if is there like an inclination of like when you were younger growing up, was there any of that, any sign that you might do that, and second of all, when you say like, oh, my ancestors told me, my ancestors said, I want to understand, like, what is that like when you say like, is it a thought? Does it come in like in thought form? Is it a voice you hear? Because I know people have different like, you know, psychic abilities
Yeah.
of like what some people are hearing, some people it's just you see.
Yeah.
So for you, is it like comes in thought form? Is it a voice that you hear? Is it like energy? Like how are you able to decipher these messages of and understand like what the ancestors are trying to tell you? Because you know sometimes it's not easy to
Yeah,
know
yeah.
like, is this my own thought? Is it like my higher self? Is it spirit that's
Yeah.
talking to me? And I've always just been curious about people that are connected to spirit on that level,
Okay.
to understand like what it's like for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the first question?
Oh, the first question was, it's kind of like just to understand, like, how did you even know that
I
this
remember.
ancestral work is? And I know that like the first time you did say that when you got exposed to ancestral work that other people were doing, like you just naturally felt that, oh, this connects with me. Was it just that then led you to that path?
I think it's also important for me to say that I didn't have a strong religious upbringing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For me,
That's very helpful, by the way, sometimes. Yeah. Because sometimes you have to deconstruct the whole religion before.
Yeah, for me, there was no deconstruction as such. I feel like when I was in school, that's when I'd be like, okay, we have to go to church, we have to read the Bible, you know, nini. But I'd go home during the holidays. No one is really telling me you have to go or you have to read the Bible or you have to do this. I will say, though, of course, when you're young, you're being taken to Sunday school, you're doing all those things because I guess your parents just want you to have that moral background and to know what exactly is right from wrong. Although right now, I don't think religion needs to give you that. Like, you can teach your children that minus religion.
Yep, absolutely.
But yeah, so I didn't have a really strong religious background, which I felt like really helped. Because even when we became adults, my mom sat us down and told us, like, I don't need you to be Christian or to be Muslim or whatever, but I just want you to believe in something, believe in a higher power. And I was like, okay, cool.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, God is within us all at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But my mom is Christian. I think I need to add that as well in case
so
they ever see this.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, my mom is Christian. But she's not those Christians who impose on you.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I think now, because of the meditation, the yoga that I had initially done, it was very easy for me to know, like, this is what is calling to me. This is what I feel like makes sense to me. This is what I feel like doesn't make sense to me. And the beauty I feel like about spirituality is that there's so many paths you can go into. I have friends who don't even work with their ancestors. They work with other spirits.
Yes.
I know that people who do work with like archangels, with saints, like there's so much you can go into and the field is so wide. It just really depends on what you feel
naturally,
with.
like sometimes it's like it's just like a natural pull.
Yeah.
And it sounds like for you it was like a natural pull towards that.
And I always tell people, you don't have to connect with your ancestors if you don't feel like it. For, everyone's path, even in this life, is so different. Maybe for you, you don't need that.
That's so important for you to say, because as I started with the introduction, sometimes I've asked myself, and I really love that. I've asked myself, like, oh, is this a blind spot where, like, I'm not doing this enough? Like, and I honestly, I don't feel naturally pulled towards that, because my own journey has been different, my own journey. In fact, also it started with meditation. It started with, understanding, my thoughts, my behavior, and all of those things, right? And then naturally it led me to here now. But I've never felt like, even when I watch like people that do ancestral work, I always just feel like, oh, should I be doing this? But then I don't feel a natural pull. And then so that helps me not to like try to force things when like my intuition is not leading me that. And I'm so glad that you said that. And it really validated.
Because I feel like the people who maybe primarily in this lifetime, they're meant to work with their guides more.
Right.
The people, maybe it's more about your own growth for yourself. You're not supposed to be offering work to other people. Like, there's so many different things, and I feel like we're all spoiled for choice. So that's why I always say the first step is to connect with yourself.
Yes.
That way you'll know what is actually for you and what's not for you. Sometimes, just as you've said, like, I feel like people are like, oh, maybe I should be working with my ancestors more. But let me tell you, your lineage, if your lineage needed you to be doing that, you'd be doing that. And what you don't know is maybe what you're doing right now is really helping your lineage in a different way. And that's what your lineage needs.
I know that.
Right now.
I know that to be true. And
I don't think actually that matters that much.
Yeah. When you say like my ancestors told me, like, especially when you were referencing to the cards, it's like they later told you like, oh, you're bullshitting. Or like when they've told you, you've referenced a lot like, oh, they told me this, or they've said this to me. Like, how does that come to you?
Okay. So I feel like, first of all, I don't know how, but I think...
is it a feeling? Is it like a thought? Or like, is it a knowing? Because my psychic gift is a gift of knowing. So it's like, I know, but I don't know how I know. Yeah. So like, how does that come? Those messages from your ancestors, how do they come to you?
For me, I will say it's also knowing. I'm very protective of my crown.
Okay.
Because I feel like my
cognizance, yes,
is my strongest ability. So just the same way, I'm able to just know things, but then I'm like, how do I know that?
How do I know that?
I just know.
Yeah.
But I've also been working a lot on my clairvoyance as well, my seeing. I cannot tell you how that is going, but I hope it's going somewhere, because I remember, was it last year or the 2024? There was a time I'd scroll on Instagram and I'd really be like, wow, people are really, like, your energy is very open on social media, because I'm looking at your photo and why unaka uko na mommy issues sana.
Oh, really?
You really need to check on that.
Oh, it's like you feel the energy. It's like you connect to their energy psychically by just looking at the picture. Yeah, okay.
So at that time I was a bit freaked out, but I was like, okay, cool. Looks fun. I can still do it right now, but I prefer not to. It feels like a bit of a violation on someone's energy.
I get that, yeah.
So unless someone specifically asks me to do it for them, I try not to do it. But I'm always telling people, like, stop. Your energy is too open on social media. Like, shut it down a bit, bring it down a notch. So for me, I feel like those are the main ones. But sometimes I feel other psychic abilities coming through. For example, when my guka is around, I will smell cigarettes, because he used to smoke a lot. So that's
even
when
though
I'll
no
know.
one is smoking around
No,
you.
no one smokes around me. I don't even smoke. My parents don't smoke. So I'll just be at home maybe, and then I'll start smelling cigarettes. So that's when I'll know, oh, he's here. He has something to say. So when it comes to like just the knowing, I don't know how to explain that, because it's just like, I know. Like, I know.
No, as a person who also clear cognizance is also the strongest. So
it's so hard to explain.
It's so hard. It's one of those that's the hardest to explain, right? Because it's not, you know, because with the feeling clear sentient, like you get like a bodily sensation, and that is my second one. So sometimes it's accompanied by like a combination of like knowing and then the clear
feeling,
sentient, but the knowing is like the biggest one. Because people that have the voyance, it's like you in your mind's eye, and then the hearing, like you're able to hear. But I completely agree that that is like a hard one to like explain to other people, because like, how do you know? Did you see it? Did you hear it? And which is what I was asking, but I was trying to get a sense of like, how do those, you know, messages come to you? Yeah.
But then now
but how do you decipher them though? Like if it's like a knowing, because my clear cognizance, sometimes it's like, it comes as like a thought, right? It comes like a fully formed thought information, right? But at the time that it comes, it's not when I'm trying to find out something. It's when I'm doing something in the kitchen, I'm like doing and I'm not even thinking of anything like that. And then I would have this thought about something fully formed, right? But then sometimes I'm like, why am I thinking of that? You know, why am I thinking of that? And then later somebody says something and it confirms
what you were thinking,
what I was thinking, and sometimes like it, you know, sometimes it freaks me out, because I'm like,
I get you.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like how does your clear cognizance, that knowing, when you, especially when it's like connecting to the ancestors and getting information from them, is it a thought? Like, does it come as the clear cognizance itself is like you get a thought about like that especially when you're helping somebody connect to their ancestors. And I don't know if my question is clear. Like I come to you and say like, I want to connect to my ancestors, and what do they have to say to me, right? And you connect to them. So your knowing, is it like a message that comes in a thought form?
Oh, okay. So let me answer that and tell me if najibu the question.
Yeah.
So let me back it up a bit. I don't understand how, but even when I'm teaching people to connect to their ancestors, the first thing is always, how does your intuition come through, right? Because if we know that, we can expand that channel. We can build on it and make that stronger.
Yeah.
But for me, no one taught me that, so I don't know, can nilijifunza ama was it a lineage thing? I'm not sure.
It mostly likely lineage. It's something
most likely
that was encoded in you.
Yeah, that's what I also think. So when I'm doing readings for other people, even when you said if I want to connect with my ancestors, there's something they want to tell me, I could immediately tell what they wanted to tell you. For me, it's not something I have to think about. When I open myself up to like connecting with someone's energy and connecting to their ancestors, it all comes through. But then sometimes you find I can get like pictures of something, or I can smell something, or I can taste something.
So it's all like psychic abilities.
Everything opens up. But when I'm just going about my day, I know it's usually my clear cognizance just taking me through the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So or sometimes you like doing readings is so weird sometimes, but so it'll just be, if I'm opening myself up, it'll be anything and everything. I might even start feeling like my back is aching or something like that, which is not my typical intuitive ability. But if, let's say, I'm just going about my day, minding my business, now I'll find myself with such situations where I think of something and then someone
later confirms,
or I'll think of someone and then they'll text me, or they'll call me, or I'll dream of something and then I see it now happening and unfolding. But it's not...
I completely get that. Get that. Which, now goes to your mediumships. Right? Because what you just described, it's like when you're a medium, sometimes, of course, like one is the strongest one, but when you're a medium and you open your energy to communicate to the other side, then of course it's going to come and then you relay whatever is coming. So now I want you to talk about your mediumship, because when you told me that you're a medium, because I don't think I knew that because you haven't put you haven't put that label on your social media, and you haven't put it anywhere. So, of course, I didn't think I knew. And so when you said like you're a medium, first of all, I was so happy. But like the way that I reacted was like, oh, I'm surprised because I hadn't seen it. But I was so happy because as I was telling you, every single time I see like a medium, a psychic medium, it's always from somebody from the Western world.
Yeah.
Somebody from the UK, somebody from the US, mostly like
Yeah.
UK, US, Canada, whatever.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody on TikTok who's like a medium in Kenya, let alone Africa. Like I've literally not come across, and I come across a lot of medium content, and I'm like, where are all mediums in Kenya? Where are the
We're
mediums
here.
in Africa?
We're here.
And first of all, I know that it's because that type of thing is demonized. We're like a
Very.
deeply religious nation,
Yeah.
religious continent still, but I'm so happy that you're a medium. So can you tell us like what mediumship is and like what that's like for you, your experience being a medium?
Okay. So I have to say, I think I'm also now like coming to terms with it.
With the fact that you're a medium, yeah.
Yeah, because like just as you've said, it's not really people. I don't
Yes.
think people are open about
Yeah.
it, and it's really frowned upon.
Yeah.
But the more I grow in this path, the more it becomes so hard to introduce yourself, because sometimes, like I said, I do the spirit guide stuff. I connect people with deities. I do spirit baby stuff. I do womb healing. Like you find yourself doing so much. You're like, so what?
Yeah,
Really
putting yourself in a
encapsulates-
box, it's hard. Yeah.
Because someone will tell you, oh, use one word to describe your work. You're like,
That's
what
that's
can
very
I tell
limiting.
you?
Yeah.
What can I tell you?
Yeah.
You know, and the mediumship. Wow. So I don't. Hey, what can you say about that? The way and this is
Like,
something,
what is mediumship? First of all,
okay, sawa.
because it's mostly in the Western world. A lot of people in Africa or Kenya don't even know.
okay.
Or even when they hear, they're like, oh, we're Chinese, so
Yeah.
what are you telling me? You know, like they
Yeah.
quickly dismiss it.
Yeah.
And so, can you tell us like what is mediumship?
Okay, as per my understanding and how this has showed up for me, mediumship is basically connecting with the dead.
The other side.
Spirits. Yeah,
Basically.
the other side. But I feel like it's more, the other side could be
It could
different
also
kinds
be-
of
yeah.
spirits.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean people who have passed on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
your
what we're
loved
talking
ones,
about. Yeah.
your loved animals, and all of those
Your
things.
enemies.
Your enemies, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, that is what I understand mediumship to be. So for me, there was a bit of dissonance at the beginning because there's like my ancestral work, but there's also the mediumship.
The mediumship, yes.
And that's where my ancestors were like, we have to draw the line between spirits who are ancestors and spirits who are on the other side who have passed on.
Right.
Because just because, let's say your grandmother died, passed on recently, doesn't mean she's an ancestor guiding you in this life. But you can talk to her through mediumship.
Mediums, yeah, absolutely.
You can give her messages, she can tell you things. Because sometimes when I do like ancestral readings, someone will be like, oh, my mom passed on maybe like 20 years ago, maybe she has something
Maybe
that can
she's an
guide me
ancestor,
and whatever. But then you find there's an ancestor who steps up and is like, no, actually, I'm the one who's going to talk about this issue. The mom isn't equipped to talk about this, but I'll let her see what she has to say, and then I will come in and I will help this person with the issue.
Yeah.
So for me, mediumship is actually, it's fun. I think spirits are very cool. It's really enjoyable, even seeing the different personalities. Is it scary? No, I don't find it scary. At the same time, I feel like I also have to say I'm not sitting in a dark room with candles around me and talking to dead spirits. Please. That is not going on.
Yeah, because that's what people picture.
Yeah, that's like the movie interpretation of this type of work. And I'm not saying that's wrong. Sometimes ritual before or in that
Opening
setting,
up your energy,
is okay. But it's not always what I do personally. Spirits love talking. They love sharing. It's really enjoyable, honestly.
And they want to help, right? Is what I've heard.
Yeah, a lot of spirits love helping people. And, people say, not all of your passed on loved ones want to help you. Not all of them wish you well. That is true. That is definitely true, because remember, these people were human. Even us right now, we all have our own biases and our own things.
I actually find that very interesting. Like when they're on the other side, like they're out of the bodily human experience, they wouldn't still like see how hard it is as a human and want to help you. Like there are some others that are like they have animosity towards us, even though they're now not in that human physical experience.
Yeah, I feel like for some, I feel like it also depends on the spirit. I find spirits are like, they can also have human personalities. So just because someone is on the other side doesn't mean wamekuwa brand new. Like, they definitely have to face the actions while they were here. They have to see the things they did right, the things they did wrong, but not in the judgment day.
It's just a review.
Yeah, it's a review. So there are ancestors who are like, I'm not ready to work on that, so I'm not really going to work on that. And, you know.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, when actually, funny enough, when I was first...
That is so interesting.
When I was first getting into spirituality, I think this was around 2022 or 2021.
Yeah.
I got an Akashic reading. I'm sure you've heard about the Akashic records.
I've done sometimes on myself, yeah.
So I remember getting an Akashic
from
reading.
somebody.
Yeah. And the way things happened, I was just like, I guess this is aligned. Because I remember I just woke up in the middle of the night. I was scrolling on Twitter. That time it was still Twitter. And someone was like, oh, I've been learning to read people's Akashic records. Please, if you want one, let me know, it's free. So I was like, I might as well, you know. Because I also love supporting people in these spiritual spaces, especially now. It's good to practice. So when I got the reading, it was like a video call, excuse me. And I remember she was like, they were like, you can ask 3 questions. So I had my questions ready. The first one was, who are my ancestors? Because like I told you, when I was first starting out, I was so unsure of who I am reaching out to. And I was just praying I'm not talking to demons. Like, I was just like, wow, I don't want to come and suffer ukombele. And the answers that I was given were very aligned. When I look back at it and with the ancestors I know right now, I feel like the response I was given was very aligned, because they were both, I was given two ancestors, both from, both from my mother's side. And one of them, I was told, holds a lot of animosity, not a lot, holds some animosity towards queer people because they're able to live freely now, but he was not able to do that.
Suppressed. That person was suppressed when they had queerness in them, but they couldn't live it out.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, isn't that interesting? Even on the other side, you still have your own 2 things. But yeah.
Oh my God, that's so... honestly, that is so fascinating. You have no idea how that fascinates me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've always just... There's a part of me that has always wondered, like, whether, like, when you leave this body, right, you go to the other side, I've always wondered, like, can you transcend, like, the things that you were not able to overcome? And if you weren't, like, able to live the life that you wanted, and then be like, okay, that's done, it's fine. But why hold animosity when maybe you can come reincarnate and then try to do that in a different lifetime? I don't know. Do you understand my question?
Yeah. That's my that's what I wonder as well. But as per what I was taught, even on the other side, you're still learning. You're supposed to be learning, right? So that your soul continues to grow and to elevate.
But the human experience is what, like, it's
accelerates.
Because it's a hard place to be on earth.
Yes, 100% agree. Yeah. But even on the other side, we all have our own teachers who kind of like help us review what we've done on earth and how to like improve on those experiences. And even when you're planning out, like you want to come back, you still have to sit with your teachers and look at that as well. So I feel like for some souls, maybe they just don't want to do that. That's their choice. But there's also this thing we call ancestral elevation, where there are ways you can help ancestors kind of like deal with these biases and these issues on the other side, where we'll queue up physically.
I know during my awakening,
Yeah.
like during my dark night of the soul, and I told this to another spiritualist that I was talking to, that I know that some of the pain that I was processing was not mine.
Yeah.
And you know the difference between your pain, because it reached a point I was like, there's no way. There's no way this is mine.
Yeah.
So it's like I was definitely helping resolve some painful things that were not processed during their lifetime. And I don't know which ancestor. I just know that I was processing a pain that was not mine. So I completely agree.
I feel like now you have that. You then have timeline healing. There's so much that goes into that altogether. But yeah, it's still necessary work. But
When you're connecting, are you able to differentiate and say like, okay, I know this one definitely is not friendly towards me, but this one is like so helpful and friendly? Are you able to feel like the different types of energies?
I will say, first of all, when it comes to ancestors, let me talk about ancestors. There's a hierarchy, number one. And I feel like there's a hierarchy because that's the easiest way to explain it to us. Like, we're used to hierarchies in our day-to-day life. But for me, when I connect with my ancestors, or sometimes I'm called by them, I'm told, sit down, we need to talk. So I'll find myself like there's a council. It's like we're seated here.
Yeah.
And I'm seated with them. So they're telling me these are the things you need to look at. This is something you need to remember. This is the work you need to do. All of that. So the council is like, for me, the highest level of ancestors. These are like your teachers. They're like your guides. There's also ancestral guides who are like spirit guides, but they're also your ancestors. Can they change throughout your life? I think so. But sometimes I find ancestral guides like to work with you through the span of your life.
Yeah.
And then now you have your normal everyday ancestors who are helping you with one issue or another, who you just talk to get to know them, you know, all of that. But you can definitely tell, because I feel like in my own path, I've never met an ancestor who doesn't like me, honestly. But I've seen it with other people.
I'm happy for you. That's great. Yeah, you've seen when you do other people's readings.
Yeah, you're just able to tell like the energy is not
friendly,
flowing the way it should. It feels like there's a blockage, like the no. But then Pia, sometimes, you know, I find that even if an ancestor has some hang-ups, they might be able to help you with something. For example, maybe you had an ancestor who was a thief. They might come in when you're looking at how you can make more money or something like that, and they'd be like, actually, I can help you with that. But if they don't like you, I feel like they won't help you. But can they have like funny characters and help you? Yes.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And if somebody's wondering, like, how do I start to connect with my spirit guides, because, you know, sometimes, like I said, like has not been my journey, like working with ancestors, but I do connect for my own, not for others, but for my own like journey, like asking for help, asking for guidance. I do that for myself personally, but I feel like sometimes it's not something that I feel like I do. Sometimes I've wondered, like, okay, did I connect with them? Like, how do I know I connected with them?
Okay.
But I feel like for me, sometimes it's dreams that have helped me. Whenever like I dream of something, like my dreams they're so like vivid, and they're like, especially when it's like a significant dream, it's very vivid with like emotions, and that is what tells me, like, you know, this is important, or you're headed in the wrong direction, or like, you know, you're okay, and whatever. So at least I know that I have some guidance. But like, how I know that there's somebody in my position where they're like, oh, I don't even know if I'm connecting with them. Like, what would you say to somebody like that? So they know, like, I'm actually connecting, or like, what can they do to know that they are connecting to their spirit guides?
Honestly, it takes time.
Right, it's a relationship.
It's a relationship. I feel like when you're connecting with your spirit guides, that connection is much faster, because you can say, if I'm connecting with my spirit guides, I will see maybe this specific number like 5 times, or I will see a purple car, something like that. And trust me, you'll go outside and you'll see a purple car. But for your ancestors, a lot of them love a relationship. They love you taking the time to like
build that.
Yeah, build that. So if it's your ancestors, I always recommend start from somewhere. Like I said, I started with a white candle and a glass of water. It can really be that simple. Just talk to them, tell them about yourself, tell them anything. At the end of your day or when you're starting your day, just talk to them. Another practice, and you might actually feel calm, you might feel better, you might feel happier. I feel like those are signs that it's actually doing something. Another practice I like is telling people to journal. Like if you have an issue, just say, I call upon my ancestors who are guiding me. This is what I'm dealing with right now, yada, yada, yada. Just write everything. And you might actually find yourself coming up with solutions for the challenge that you're dealing with. That's your ancestors coming through for you, And I always say when you connect with your ancestors, it feels like an everyday thing. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, this is such a experience. For me, I find that it just feels like, yeah, this makes sense. This connects to me. Inaingiana, yani.
Yeah.
So for your ancestors, you really have to take the time, show up. You don't even have to have the candle or the water. You can just start talking to them. Utakaa nika unajongelesha, but trust me, you'll just feel way better. You'll feel lighter. You'll just feel nice. For spirit guides, I would say what helped me the most when I was starting out was those guided meditations on YouTube.
Spirit guide meditations.
Yeah.
So I've done those. Yeah, I've done those. Yeah.
And you definitely feel something. I don't know.
No, you do. You do, because like in the beginning, there's doubt, of course, because you're a human, you're like in this physical form, and sometimes we like to see things or like hear things or whatever, like, and that it's like, and it's natural for a human to be doubtful, because it's like, how do I know, like, when I can't see, right? So, and, so in the beginning, even for me, I've felt that I was doubtful, but then I think like the more that I've done this, the more that I've learned to be open. Yeah. Like to just go, like don't expect anything. Yeah. Like don't expect to feel however, don't put like a thing of like I'm expected to feel this way or like hear this or whatever. So I just go with an open mind, and like even if I don't receive anything during the course of that, I keep myself open, and I find that like throughout the course of the day, I'm taking a walk. And there's like something comes and and like what you said about journaling is so I definitely relate with that, because this morning like I wrote 3 pages of like in my journal and about like something that I'm navigating. I was just like dumping like that thing of like waking up and dumping. Yeah, so I was doing that, and then I find that as I was, because it's like a stream of consciousness where like I'm not talking about one specific thing. And then towards the end, I felt like I started to be like, I ended with gratitude without any planning, right? And as I'm taking my walk, I found that I was just open to the gratitude of noticing the beauty in the trees and whatever, just because I was dumping on my pages. So I definitely see that connection. It was like the message was like about gratitude. And
I love that. And you also feel like these emotions of like a lot of love. You just feel so nice, and like everything could be going to shit, but you just feel so wow. Like
you're at peace with which you started with in the beginning. You're at peace with where you are in the moment, and and which is like the most important thing, accepting and being at peace with wherever you are. And then if you need to change something, act out of that acceptance of the place where you are at.
I agree with that.
Oh, beautiful. I feel like I'm sure there are a lot of people that are very interested in this type of thing that you do. So I want to hear like from your experience as we conclude this, working with ancestors and working with spirit guides and like in your own spirituality journey, what has that done for you?
Okay, I will say for me primarily it's been the growth. I think I was actually on threads about this last night, and I was saying I really love spirituality. I love being a spiritual person because I really love the growth that I have experienced. I don't know if I would have grown this much if I had not got into spirituality. I'm not sure. Maybe I would have eventually, but every day feels nice. For me, primarily, like I've said, growth. Yeah, I was able to deal with a lot of issues for myself first and foremost, and then now you have issues with parents. You have lineage issues. You know, you have to deal with that stuff at the end of the day if you want to be better, I guess, or if you want more for yourself. So growth has really been a huge motivator on this path. And then we have satisfaction. For me, spirituality gives me a lot of satisfaction in my life. I feel very sure of where I'm at. And even when I doubt myself, I'm not saying I know everything about how my life will be. I don't think that's possible. I guess you can know if you want to, but I've never wanted to. So I feel like I'm very satisfied with my life. Even when I face challenges, when I'm between different, like niko kwa crossroads, when I'm unsure of which way to go, when I come back to myself, when I listen to my intuition, and then I consult with my ancestors, with my guides, I'm able to really get a feel of where I want to go. But I see that even when you're facing such a situation, they'll always tell you, what do you think? What do you want for yourself? So by connecting with yourself, which I feel like is a huge part of what spirituality is.
Absolutely.
Spirituality should always bring you back to yourself.
Absolutely. 180%,
All these other things,
whatever.
All these other things are secondary to that.
Yes.
So if you are connected with yourself, you'll definitely know what you want for yourself and you'll align yourself accordingly.
Yes.
So the growth, the satisfaction, 100%.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm still learning. I'm young, you know. But I would say for me, those are the two things. Also, being more compassionate and empathic, honestly. I feel like we're a very judgmental society, honestly, to be quite honest. And while sometimes the judgment might be okay for some people, sometimes it can really spill over. It's not so hard to just be like, okay, this is not what I want for myself, but I won't judge you for it because it's what you're dealing with, you know.
You mentioned that you carried cards, so I'm curious.
Yeah, damn, I almost forgot about that.
I'm curious to see like what my ancestors. If that's something you.
I genuinely forgot about that, by the way. Thank you for reminding
so she's.
me. I'm so glad I told you.
Yeah, she's looking at her bag, and for people that are listening and wondering what we're talking about, but she's pulling some cards from her bag, some oracle cards that she carried with her, and maybe we'll get to hear what. What my ancestors have for me today.
I usually I like giving people like herbal blends as gifts if I'm meeting someone, but today is when I'm going to buy the herbs themselves. So I was like, damn, let me just carry my cards. I can do something small for you to show my gratitude.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so colorful.
Oh yeah, I have 2 decks. This one.
And they're both oracle cards, right?
Yeah, they're both oracle.
Yeah.
Damn. And this one.
Okay. Ooh, I love the pattern there.
These ones are the ones that like you more.
Oh, okay. Just let's do the ones that like me. Yeah.
Okay. So I call upon Bamzi's ancestors and guides working for her highest good today. Let's see what you have to tell Bamzi for this session. You remember when I told you, like, immediately you asked me, what do my ancestors have to say? I already had a response for you. There's a very strong, like, male ancestor here. And he's just like, just remind her that she's so loved and she's so cared for. And she doesn't have to worry about so many things. I don't know what you're always worrying about.
Oh, yeah. There's something has been on my mind, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so he's just
not worry, but like, it's not worry. I actually don't identify with worry, but it's that thing of like, that there's that overthinking of like, oh, what's happening? Why haven't I seen this and whatever? Because I actually don't struggle with worry and anxiety as I used to before,
I'm glad.
These days my mind has taken a backseat, but it's sometimes the human comes and tries to figure out like, okay,
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like it's definitely different to like compared to how I used to be like 2 to 3 years ago, where like
That's
worry and
nice.
overthinking were like
Yeah.
here, but now I'm definitely more relaxed.
Okay. Okay. I love that. Okay, so let's see. What does he have to say to you? Your ancestors are very talkative.
Okay.
It's like everyone wants to say something.
I love that for me. Is there female energy coming through? Is it just male?
There's a female energy also. That's why I was like, everyone wants to talk. Like, we have to.
They've been waiting.
Tupe kila mtu chance yake. But, wow. Okay. So there's that female energy coming through. But this ancestor, okay, these are the cards. We have this one, magic. And we have this one, space. Right? And the magic card is really just reminding us to find the whimsical in our lives. Like, see the beauty of being here, regardless of how difficult things get. Like, find the magic in the mundane, as people say. So this is a reminder to do that. But I feel like it's also a reminder to go deeper into your own spiritual practice, especially with the things that you feel called to. Do more research, try them out more, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. With the space card, this card, like you can see, it's blank. So it typically represents like a clean slate, like a new beginning. And I feel like for you, the way he's putting it here, your mom passing on was a new beginning for you. As difficult as that sounds, I know, I'm sorry. But it was her time. And now it's your time to also transition into a whole new world and a whole new space for yourself. And he's really saying, like, this is a space for you to do all the things that you've ever wanted to do. This is now your time to do all of that and to reach heights you didn't even think were possible. Is she with you? Definitely, as often as she can, because she's also doing her own things. But you're okay. You're guided, you're protected, you're loved. Someone.
Thank you.
And he's really saying to remind you that you're loved. You're really loved. Don't forget that. Yeah.
Thank you. I really felt that.
Now, for the woman coming through, I honestly don't know who this is. You know, ancestors don't like telling me who they are. And then someone will ask me, who's this ancestor? And I'm like, I don't even know, because for them, it's like, stop focusing on who I am. Just listen to what I have to say. So this ancestor, she's a woman, like we felt. And she's very chatty, but very excited as well. I feel like that childlike excitement from her. You know how when you're a child and then you're taken to a new place and you're so happy and you're like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun, you know. But she's also saying the same thing, that you're loved, and to remember that you don't have to be constantly connecting with your ancestors to be in your spiritual path. Just like I told you earlier, for them, when that time comes, you'll know. But for now, that is not your focus, that is not your path, and that's okay. And she's saying to treat yourself. I don't know if there's a snack you really liked as a child or something.
That's so funny.
That's what I'm picking up on.
That is so funny. You know why I'm saying that? That is so funny. It's because I actually grew up in the village. Believe it or not, I grew up in the village. And as children, we used to go to the market, and there's this like little round. They're like little round. They're made out of like maize flour, and then they're like they make into a paste, and then they deep fry, and it's round. Yeah, it's like a thing in Kisii that they do in the Kisii region, because I've never seen it anywhere. I've never seen it here.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Maybe.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a Swahili name. I just know the Kisii name.
It's okay. That's fine. You can tell us.
So it's not like, oh, it was my favorite snack or whatever, but recently I've been thinking about it a lot. And in fact, a few weeks ago, I attempted to... I made some.
Ooh,
I swear.
Yes, I
So
love
when you
it.
said that, I immediately thought of that, and I was like, that is so funny.
I think that's what she's talking about, because I was like, what's this? And I couldn't even place what it is, because I think it's
Yeah.
something I've never known.
Yeah.
Or I've never seen in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what she wanted to say. I also feel
I
like
wonder if it's my grandmother. Like,
I really feel like
when you started talking,
energy.
I just immediately thought of my grandmother from my
I think
mom's
it
side,
is
my
her.
mom's mom.
Yeah.
Because like she's one person that I've really felt loved by when she was before she passed on. And like as you were talking, I thought it was like it's your grandmother, whatever. I don't know. It was just kept
I
coming.
do think it's her, actually, because I was like, this feels so grandmotherly. So I was like, is it a grandmother, a great grandmother? I'm not sure, but she's so happy, very excited to connect with you. And she's like, yeah, I see you doing your things every day, and I'm so proud of who you are. And she's telling me to tell you that as well. So keep doing what you're doing. I feel like you might find yourself being pushed into inner child work more. I don't know if that's something you've been considering.
Yeah, no, the whole of last year, and even on my own day-to-day, whatever, like I'm always trying to connect to the parts of me that, are suppressed, or like even when I get triggered, or like whenever something comes up in my external reality, whether it's a text from somebody and then I get a body sensation, like I always try to do that work. Yeah.
I feel like that will also help a lot of lineage issues through that work. But tutakuwa sawa. I feel like that's what they have to say.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But I feel like your guides are very present. Well, very present.
Oh, they're like, yeah. We have a lot to say.
But yeah, just a reminder that they do love you and they do care about you, and that the work you do is important.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I just got a mini reading. And so if you want readings, if you want to connect to your ancestors, if you want to connect to your spirit guides and you don't know how to get started, what to do, that is the type of work that Nyambura does. And can you tell people how they can work with you if they wanted to? And what type of services? Because we didn't break down like all the things that you offer.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can say like all the things that you offer and where they can find you.
So primarily, a lot of the work I do is ancestral work, like we've said. I also, let me say the services first, and then I can go to the other things. So helping people connect to their ancestors, get messages from their ancestors, their spirit guides. If you work with deities or you're looking to work with certain deities, that's also something I can help you with. Or you want messages from certain deities, that's something else I can help you with. If you are looking to speak to a passed on loved one, that's what mediumship does. That's what I do still. Akashic record stuff, I can also do that for you. Connecting with like your children in spirit, if you're looking to get children, that's
if you want to get
else.
pregnant, you mean?
Yeah. Or you're looking to get children if you're a guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. I always think of it. Yeah.
Valid though. That's something else. If you want like anything, love, career, just any type of guidance, that's something else I do. Past life stuff, if you can call it past life, that's something else I do. I think those are the main services that I can think of right now. But in any case, you can always text me, DM me. I'll share my socials.
I'll put them in the description as well.
Sawa. We'll see. If it's something I can do, I can definitely do it for you. Also, chakra stuff, looking at how your energy is looking. That's something else I can do. I also teach womb healing, inner child work, connecting with your spiritual gifts. Those are the main things I teach. People ask me to teach them to read cards. If that's something you're interested in, we can always do that.
Do you do just oracle or do you do tarot as well?
I know some tarot, but I prefer oracle.
Okay.
Watu wa oracle wakuje kwangu, please. I also offer like spiritual things like baths, herbal teas, oils. All those are things I can do. Spell work if that's what you're into. I think that's about everything.
Yeah. As you can hear, she does, or hear or see, she does a lot of offerings that she has. So if any of that, any of what she described, speaks to you, definitely reach out to her. Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been so lovely. It's been so wonderful. How does it feel? Like in the beginning you felt nervous, but now you're like, very, How do you feel?
I feel nice. I'm glad I did this. A lot of my ancestors are actually here,
Yeah.
so I feel like I've done it for myself and for my
Yes.
people. And yeah, this has helped me also kind of like relaunch myself into the public eye, if I can call
Yes.
it
I'm
that.
glad I could do that for
So I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for the opportunity, Bamzi. Thank you so much for inviting me and for making the time as
Yeah,
well.
thank you so much for making the time. I'm glad that we could make it work, knowing that you were going to school. Yeah, thank you so much. It's been wonderful, and maybe next time we'll talk about mediumship and whatever. Like, but there's so many possibilities of
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been wonderful, and for everyone that has been listening or listening to us. I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope it speaks to you, some of the things that we talked about. And if it does, definitely share it with somebody that might appreciate the type of conversation that we had. Rate our podcast, give us comments. If there's something that you wanted us, if you there's something particular that you want Nyambura to come back and talk about, we would love to see your feedback. On YouTube, you can leave comments, on Spotify as well. And yeah, thank you so much. And we will see you next time on the Art of Being podcast. I hope today's conversation resonated with you, brought you a sense of clarity, and maybe even challenged you to reflect further on your healing and spiritual journey. If it resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. If you are watching on YouTube, like this episode, subscribe, and share your feedback and reflections. If you are listening on Apple or Spotify, rate this podcast and leave a review. Your feedback means so much to me. And it also helps the podcast grow and reach more people who may need these conversations. You can also find our socials and email in the episode description. I always love hearing from you. Until next time, take gentle care of your soul, mind, and body.